Oklahoma is joining the SEC sooner rather than later and is going to thrive in the conference for three main reasons: SEC matchup history, recruiting boost, and the tradition of excellence in Norman. Let's start with the talking point many use against OU, their history against SEC opponents. The first comments I hear when I talk Oklahoma joining the SEC generally go a little something like this. "But Paul, Oklahoma's in the Big 12, they ain't playing nobody. This is the SEC, the big boys. They can't hang." I see articles like this, comparing Oklahoma joining the SEC to Nebraska joining the Big 10. Now, while it may be true that Oklahoma has struggled in college football playoff performances against the SEC as of late, going a whopping 0-3, let's broaden our scope. Oklahoma really isn't as bad against the SEC as many make them out to be. In fact, the Sooners have a losing record against just 3 SEC schools: LSU, Georgia, and Ole Miss, a 1-1 record against Florida, and a winning record against every other SEC school they've played. If you take out the wins and losses Oklahoma has against Missouri, Texas A&M, and Arkansas in past years where they were conference cohorts, Oklahoma is 15-10-2 against the SEC. While this isn't domination, the cries that Oklahoma can't hang with the competition fall on deaf ears here. In fact, the sample size really isn't large enough to pull much of anything from. Looking at the two teams Oklahoma has the most recent extensive history with, Missouri and Texas A&M, OU has clearly shown to be the superior team. And while Missouri and A&M aren't world beaters in the SEC, if Oklahoma has shown that beating them is no issue, I don't see where people are getting the idea that the Sooners will struggle to compete in their new conference. Speaking of their new conference, let's talk benefits of joining the SEC, because there are many. You can easily illustrate this by taking a look at Oklahoma's old South Division running mate, Texas A&M. The Aggies have done an excellent job taking advantage of their SEC ties and have turned themselves into a perennial recruiting power. Let's be honest, being in the SEC has its perks while on the recruiting trail. You can pitch top-tier competition week in and out as part of the premier conference in the nation. You want a chance to win a national title? Guess what? 2 SEC teams can make it into the college football playoff. If your goal is to make it to the league, the SEC has an incredible NFL pedigree. Not to mention the ties you have to the entirety of the southern US as part of the conference, which is a hotbed for football talent. It's been tough to compare the allure of playing in the Big 12 to the SEC, but that is no longer going to be a problem for the Sooners. If you want to play for the premier conference in the nation, you can do so in Crimson and Cream. It's no secret that A&M, being the flagship Texas-based program in the SEC, has given them an immense boost in recruiting. Their final 10 years in the Big 12, the Aggies' average recruiting class rank was 20.4. 10 years into the SEC and their average rank is 9.7. And that doesn't even include their most recent historic class. With the footprint the Sooners have in the Lone Star State, expect them to get a nice boost in recruiting, and that's going to make a difference. Finally, the tradition of excellence in Norman. Let's run the numbers real quick for you. 6th in the NCAA in all-time record, 7th in national championships, 1st in conference championships, 5th in all-time wins and consensus All-Americans, 1st in Heisman winners, 4th in NFL draft picks, 3rd in weeks in the AP poll, and weeks ranked number 1. When you see a ranking of the greatest college football programs of all time, Oklahoma is at or near the top of every list, every single time. So you might say, no one cares about the dominance in the 40s and the 50s. This is 2022. None of that matters. Okay, let's look at the 21st century then. The Sooners are the winningest program in college football with 18 10-win seasons, 239 total wins. Number 1. Will changing conferences make a difference? Absolutely. Is Oklahoma going to be winning 6 straight SEC titles? Probably not. But the thought that Oklahoma is going to stumble their way to a middling performance as an afterthought in the SEC just goes to show that, frankly, you don't know Sooner football. But trust me, give it a few more years and you'll find out. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this SEC breakdown video here, subscribe for more content, and as always, thanks for watching and see you at the next one.